If you'd like to get a little closer to see what's going on, they'll run it a couple of times. Without further ado, Josh, go right ahead, buddy.
So, as you can tell, this is our water source. It can either be a stream, a pond, or wherever the water is. You take the intake hose, make sure it's fully submerged in the water, and start pumping it. First, it would take a couple minutes to prime it, how you get water up in the pump before it actually starts going up and into the actual filters.
It's not going. We actually have it changed.
And once it comes through here, the first three are all sediment filters, going from the biggest, like sand grains, to dirt floating in the water, to just like stuff, other stuff in the water. But finally, there's the bacterial filter, and that filters out all the bacteria. So once it comes out of here, the water is pure. And here we have a valve, so we could either put it into this tank to be transported somewhere else, or if you turn both of these this way, it goes out to either put it into other stuff or into other, so it could be drunk from that. And
see the water moving through.
Wow.
So that whole thing that Josh just mentioned fits in this box, and the only thing that you have to assemble is this.
Is this over?
This right here is the only thing you have to actually assemble. And then there's a joint in the middle so it can fit in this box. Phillips, could you do me a big favor? We could do that in a second. I just want to see in the big picture. Can you take the actual filter system out and display it there? One of the things I think you asked for was something that would be self-standing, like you don't have to use the carts, you can have it. So one of the things that would be pressurized wood and everything. So so disconnect that. Disconnect this.
But I think having the cart is a really good idea because for security, like, you know, you can take it out and use it, and then like you need to put it in another place where it doesn't get stolen or walk away. You can easily. I really like the cart, you know, because if it's I don't know, I can't speak for the other countries, but I know for us, we're going to have to move it. We're not going to be able to just park it and leave it overnight. We're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have to move ours. So having it movable is a good thing.
So the idea is this cart is meant, thank you, Ben, this cart is actually made for the beach. It's made for salt water, it's made for water, it's made to get wet, the components are waterproof. The problem was it wouldn't fit in the shipping container. So like if you look at what we did was we got rid of these rivets and we actually put a butterfly nut so you can actually assemble that.
You can put it in there.
So that's the other thing. There's only 4 components. The biggest shift that we have is the fact that it's going to one of these. The reason why we wanted to go, another thing Nigeria mentioned was the biggest, they have containers there. And speaking to Ben, they have containers there. And speaking to you, we might need to talk about like the way Haiti does it, if they need containers or not, or if you have them there. But the idea is that you have 3 systems, it works very well. The fact that this is movable, you can actually have it stationary, or you can have it permanently on a wall, so its mechanical advantage is increased. She could talk a little bit more if you have a question about how it's being used effectively, how they're using it now. So she is our best person to talk to. She knows more about the system over there than we do. So I'll be more than happy to. Keep in mind, the thing I wanted to show you, Ben, we don't probably have a lot of time, but you see how there's leaks, and there's several ways to improve upon it. For example, one of the things that you have to have, it's lined. If it's bent at all, that's a problem. Why did we use wood? Not students. Why do you think the students decided wood? Why would wood be a good material? Anybody?
Not going to rust.
That's true. It won't rust. I'm sorry?
Easier to repair.
Easy to get, easy to repair. Also, if you treat it, it's not going to be an issue. But most importantly, to reproduce it is much quicker, and it's very inexpensive. And we didn't want to do wood because, oh yeah, wood and water really don't mix, but it really does if you treat it and you do it the right way. But the biggest thing was we needed to have something that would be able to fit in this container again. So the opposite side, I think it was Josh who came up with a real, the only type, well, Josh, why don't you tell us the only tool that you're going to need to assemble this?
The only tool you will need to assemble it is a Phillips screwdriver with these screws. And so it will come with this plate separate. When it folds together, we will have the holes pre-drilled into this wood. And all you have to do is put the screws back in, and it holds the thing together from folding.
Cool.
But for shipping, it would be out, so you could fold it up and fit it inside the box.
So there's still, And keep in mind a little bit of background about the filters. These filters are rated to last a year with the same exact filter. The maintenance is twice a week where you flush them out. You take it out and I'm not going to do it. Go ahead. You guys explain. Why don't you just pick a filter and show how you would flush
to clean
it out.
these, what you have to do is
We don't even have to take it
flip
out.
this,
Yeah, you don't
turn
have to
it,
take it out.
it drains out the bottom, run the water, and that does it, forces it through the filter, pushing the debris off. You have to close this one, do the same for this one. But for these filters, you take them out, unscrew the bottom, take out the actual filter, either hose it down, brush it down, just make sure you get the debris out of this one, and same with that one.
Anybody own a pool?
And that's the one you have to change
Okay,
once a
very
year?
similar to a pool.
Yes.
This one actually. This one,
And that will be good for how long?
Let me explain this to make sure we're clear on this, because this again is a couple of years ago. These two filters, if you could slide, Josh, these two filters just get rid of debris. You do not need to replace those. Those last a minimum of 3 years if you just rinse them out. This is just a mesh, takes rid of the big, the smaller, and then it goes into this. This right here is a $10 piece that we give you a 2-year supply for within that container. So for 2 years with regular maintenance, that is as it is, okay? Nigeria's been using it more than we anticipated, so we're actually going to send another set this summer. I already told Sarah about that because we want them to have that. That we picked this because of that reason. Very easy to clean, and it's also lasts the longest out of all the things, and most importantly, it won't kill you when you're providing the pressure into this device. It just didn't grab, every single one is from a different distributor. It wasn't like, oh, we just put a bunch of stuff together. No, it wouldn't have worked. We had to really test. This last one is the mother load. This is the one that kills 99.9% of everything, and it's passive. There's no chemicals. It goes through a silver nanoceram, and that's what kills things passively. That's $20, and that lasts for 2 years as well. Okay, I'm sorry. They both last for a year, and we give enough for 2 years. Is that clear about the filters and the maintenance? Josh, did you want to add anything? Okay. So what we're going to do, and someone just pointed out, we're going to have a video of how this operates, how you maintain it. So you have that for the records. That's number one. Number two, we're going to have a small Phillips that's connected to probably 2 different pieces that's inexpensive, that doesn't get rusted, that you don't have to worry about losing. Because we know in some of these remote areas, if you don't have, then oh, how do we put it together? So we're very aware of that. And what's the other thing? There was something else. No, you got to put it in when you put it in. Okay. One of the reasons why we picked this is so you can actually see the difference when it comes in, and you're going to see this, and we're going to have video and showcase this March 18th. You're going to see mud-looking water, and then all of a sudden you're going to see clear. It's kind of cool. And what's neat about this, and Josh, who's the one that came up with this device?
it was just like
Can you explain about this part right here? Please?
this part. This
part right here.
threading on the actual container doesn't fit any standard stuff. But this is a standard threading, so what I had to do is design like this part, which I needed to measure that threading, and then I had one of my